Welcome, Federal Employee Relations practitioners, new and seasoned, to FederalERPRO. This video is part of our The More You Know series. Today, we're cutting through some common confusion to master a critical concept, notice. It's a term often used in shorthand, making it seem like a single idea. But in Federal ER, notice encompasses two distinct powerful principles that every practitioner needs to understand. Let's get into it. We're talking about number 1, due process notice, and number 2, clarity of notice, specifically as it relates to penalty. While they both deal with information provided to or known by an employee, their purpose, timing, and implications couldn't be more different. Let's break them down. First, let's look at due process notice. This isn't just a best practice, it's a fundamental right. For federal employees, it's rooted in both statutory requirements and constitutional due process. Its core purpose? To inform an employee of proposed corrective actions and provide them with a meaningful opportunity to respond before any final decision is made.
Think of the proposal notice as the indictment. It's more than just a formality. It sets the stage. It must not only lay out the specific reasons for the action, but also highlight any aggravating factors the agency intends to rely on for the penalty. Get this wrong, and the consequences are severe.
Because due process notice is so foundational, a violation can void the entire agency action. This means the employee is restored to status quo, back to where they were before the action, and the agency could be liable for attorney fees. This underscores just how vital it is to get due process notice right from the start. Now, let's pivot to clarity of notice. That's Douglas factor number 9. This one isn't about due process notice. It's about finding appropriate penalty by asking, was the employee clearly informed of the rules or expectations they broke? If not, that could reduce the penalty. But if the rule was clear and well communicated, it could support a stronger penalty.
Finally, agencies have to show due consideration of all Douglas factors. If they don't, the board may reduce or even overturn the penalty. The board looks at whether the agency genuinely evaluated every relevant factor, including clarity of notice. That's why crafting your casework with care is not just good practice, it's essential. Using the Douglas factors. First, agency officials. Proposing and deciding officials must evaluate the Douglas factors before recommending or imposing a penalty. The rationale behind the penalty must be documented, and if a factor influenced the penalty, the employee needs to be told. That's where due process notice comes in. It must be part of the proposal stage. Then, there's the MSPB. When a penalty is appealed, the board may look at whether the agency properly applied the Douglas factors. That includes ensuring the agency did its due diligence in explaining and supporting its decision.
Let's look deeper. If an agency wants to argue that the employee should have known better because of training or policy, that's clarity of notice as an aggravating factor. But here's the key. The employee has a right to be told that this argument is part of the agency's reasoning, and that's due process again. Any aggravating factor, like clarity of notice, must be clearly stated in the proposal notice. If it's not, the agency risks violating due process. That's when the board finds that the agency relied on unstated penalty justifications and denied the employee a fair opportunity to respond. Bottom line, it can undo the entire action. So, here's the connection. Due process notice tells the employee what the charges are. Clarity of notice may influence how serious the penalty is, but if the agency plans to use that clarity against the employee, they've got to disclose it. That's the critical link between the two concepts. Quick recap. Notice means two different things. First, due process. Here's the charge, evidence, and proposed penalty. Second, Douglas factor 9. How clearly was the employee aware or warned about the expectation or rule? These are distinct legal concepts, but they absolutely can overlap. Mastering these two types of notice is fundamental to effective and legally sound federal employee relations practice. It empowers you to navigate disciplinary actions with confidence and fairness. If this video helped clarify things, please like and share, And don't forget to subscribe to FederalERPRO for more essential insights. We will continue to create and post content that we hope will help improve your craft. The craft of casework. We want to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below.